Something feels off in your life lately, and you can't fully explain it. You're still doing everything you're supposed to do, still showing up, still trying, but deep down, something feels disconnected. Like you're putting in effort, but not seeing the results you expected. Like you're doing more, but feeling less. And maybe you've been asking yourself quietly, why do I feel this way? Why does everything feel heavier than it should? Why am I trying so hard and still feeling stuck? What if the problem isn't that you're not doing enough? What if you're trying too hard? That sounds strange, but most people never question it. Because we've been trained to believe something simple. If it's not working, try harder. And if this already feels familiar to you, if something in you is quietly saying, "This is me," take a second to subscribe. This space is for people who are learning to slow down, think clearly, and walk with God in a deeper way. So people push, more discipline, more control, more effort. They try to fix everything. They try to force clarity, force peace, force outcomes. But slowly, it drains them. Not because they're weak, but because they're disconnected. And this is exactly what Jesus was revealing in John 15. He said something simple, but completely opposite to how most people live. He said, "Abide in me." Not strive, not chase, not force. Abide. That is not normal thinking. And most people will never live that way, because we've been taught to chase results instead of staying connected. But here's the shift. A branch doesn't try harder to produce fruit. It doesn't strain. It doesn't push. It stays connected to the vine, and the fruit comes naturally. Fruit is evidence, not effort. That changes everything, because if you're constantly forcing your life, you're not growing. You're exhausting yourself. And this is where most people get it wrong. They hear abide and turn it into another task. More prayers, more discipline, more trying. But that's not what Jesus meant. Abiding is not effort, it's alignment. If it needs force, it's probably not from God. Let that sink in. Because this is why so many people feel tired spiritually. Not because they don't care, but because they're trying to carry something they were never meant to control. And here's where it gets deeper. Abiding doesn't look dramatic. It looks quiet. It looks like staying, even when nothing feels like it's happening. It looks like trusting, without needing immediate results. It looks like letting go, without knowing what comes next. And that's uncomfortable. Because we want clarity now, we want answers now, we want peace immediately. But God often works in a different rhythm, a slower one, a deeper one. God doesn't rush what He's growing, and the more you try to speed it up, the more pressure you create. The more you try to control everything, the more exhausted you become. Not because you're failing, but because you're forcing something that was never meant to be forced. A branch cut from the vine doesn't grow stronger. It slowly dries out. And sometimes, that's what you're feeling right now. Not failure, not weakness, but disconnection. And you don't fix that by trying harder. You fix it by returning. Distance is not always loss. Sometimes it's alignment. That includes people. That includes situations. That includes expectations you've been holding on to. Because abiding often looks like letting go. Letting go of control. Letting go of outcomes. Letting go of people you're forcing to stay. Letting go of pressure you've been carrying alone. And that's not weakness. That's wisdom. Peace is proof, not coincidence. When something is aligned, it feels lighter. Not perfect, not effortless, but lighter, clearer, more natural. And when something constantly needs force, it slowly drains you. That's your signal, that something is out of alignment. Because what God grows doesn't need to be forced. And what you have to force will never fully give you peace. So maybe you don't need to try harder. Maybe you need to stay closer. Closer to God. Closer to stillness. Closer to trust. Stillness is where clarity catches up to you. And once you understand that, everything begins to shift. You stop chasing everything. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop trying to control every detail, and instead, you stay. You remain. You abide. Because what is meant to grow will grow. What is meant to stay will stay. And what leaves was never meant to carry you forward. You're not behind. You're being repositioned. So here's the question to sit with. Where in your life are you trying too hard? And what would happen if you stopped forcing it? If this spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more clarity like this, subscribe and walk this path with us. You don't have to force everything. Some things don't grow when you push them. They grow when you stay.